Good morning, it's CJ, the ex-ER nurse, and it's been 12 weeks since I've been an ER nurse. And I just want to let everyone know today who's going through what I went through in July into August, requesting an exemption, waiting for an answer, the anxiety, the fucking sleepless nights, the tears, the struggle. I know what you're going through. It is terrible. It's fucking terrible. No one should have to go through it. No one should have to go to work and know that some fucking committee has, your request in their hands, and they're debating amongst themselves whether your request is worthy of keeping your job. No one should go through that. I went through it, and I know how it feels. It's the fucking worst. I took the power back into my own hands at that time, and I resigned before they could give me an answer because I was done with the fucking torture. And it's been 12 weeks now since I've been in the emergency room. And I want you to know that it will get better. It's like I had to grieve the job, grieve the loss of my career, grieve that I'm not a nurse anymore. And I really did go through all the stages. I was very angry, so angry at my coworkers for not standing up for me. Really, some of them didn't even fucking say goodbye to me. Didn't even say goodbye. My boss didn't even wish me good luck. Never even, not a text, not a nothing. Just a fuck you, basically. So I was real angry. I was very, very, very sad and cried so many tears. The anxiety and the sadness and the depression really, it was a rough August, September, October. But here we are in November, and I have moved through the stages of the grief, and I have accepted that I'm not a nurse anymore, and I'm really doing okay, and you're gonna be okay. This is really hard, but I know that you can do it, and I have your back, and so many people in this country and around the world have your back. I've been so busy, working my butt off. I did the grocery delivery, the first couple weeks out of the ER, and that was really kind of pretty much paying the bills, like week to week, though. I always worried. I constantly was like, what else can I cut out of my budget? What can I not afford anymore? What can I get rid of? What can I do to not have to worry every day whether I'm going to make the money that I need to pay the bills? So actually somebody on one of my videos commented that I should diversify my hustle, and I hadn't even thought of that. It's things that are just so silly sometimes that you just need an outside person to mention, and then it all just ding, fucking light bulb. So I started doing takeout delivery in the midst of my grocery delivery day. So I would have both apps open, and when one was slow, I would focus on the other, and vice versa. I put one on pause to go do a grocery thing, and then I was really making the money that I needed, and that was good for the next 5-6 weeks in the midst of this 12-week situation. And then as more people, I think, lost their fucking jobs, the grocery delivery especially really started to kind of trail off. And that's where the chunks of money are, the $25-$30 chunks of money that I needed every day. They were starting to trail off. And I also had one person give me a shitty review for something that was out of my control. It was like a supply thing, and I got 1 or 2 crappy reviews on the grocery thing, And that really, really affected like orders that were offered to me. So like my opportunities to shop were going down. And I really started to panic again at like week 9-ish, 10-ish, about week 10. So there's a restaurant right down the road from me, like 2 miles down the road. It's fucking fancy. They had opened just before COVID and then closed for the shutdown and then reopened, kind of recently. I have some bartending and serving experience in my nursing life because about 7 years ago, I had a very bad head injury that kept me out of nursing for quite a long time, like almost a year and a half. And in that time, when my disability money and that kind of shit ran out, I had to like hustle at that time too to feed my kids and pay the fucking mortgage. So I got my bartending certificate and I served and stuff at a couple different places. So I had a little bit of experience. So I went to this fancy place's website and I sent a little email and I was like, listen, my resume is 12 years of nursing jobs. But I do have like a little experience and I need a job. And 2 days later, they called me and I went in and didn't even interview. They were just like, yeah, sure, come fucking work. So I showed up, like they called me on Monday. I went on Wednesday and now I'm a server too at a fancy restaurant. And it really is working out great. I'm so happy to be back in the restaurant. Like since I've left restaurant world, I really missed that kind of work. Like I love working in a restaurant. I love like the back of the house. I love being in the kitchen and seeing how things are prepared. And I love like appreciating how hard the kitchen works and then being able to like present that art to a customer and help them have like a nice night out where they can relax and not, be on their phones and fucking scrolling garbage and tragedy all around. But I'm really, really happy to be back in that world and it's going great. Like I'm making money now. And last week, actually, between my takeout, grocery, and serving, I actually took home like what I would have taken home in a week as a fucking ER nurse. And guess what? I didn't have to be an ER nurse to fucking do it. I didn't have to deal with all that shit and be part of this healthcare system that is literally damaging people and fucking killing them, trying to save them. I haven't seen any fucking dead people. I haven't seen any fucking dead kids or people overdosing and I haven't seen anything terribly, terribly sad. And it's been really nice. So, as you can see, stages of grief are a merry-go-round. You get off one step and you get right back on sometimes. But I don't miss being a nurse. I don't miss being in that environment where there's just so much fucking sadness. I'm really happy to be out in the real world and helping people in other ways. I love being able to bring people their things that they couldn't get out and do themselves. And I love helping people have like a nice night out to dinner. So I just want everybody out there to know that sometimes even the saddest thing of losing your job, losing your career, not being a nurse anymore, not being a whatever you were anymore. It can really open up doors in your life. And I hope that happens for all of you. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time. This was not an easy process for me these last 16 weeks since the email came out to me on July 8th about the mandate. It has not been an easy 4 months, but I've gotten through it, and you can too. I have your back. Take good care.